Prologue. The Forgotten World. The ruins of Valzir lay silent under the pale glow of twin moons. Once a thriving metropolis of an ancient alien race, now it was nothing more than a crumbling graveyard lost to time. Faint echoes of its past lingered in the form of towering spires, their surfaces etched with glyphs too old to decipher. Wind howled through the broken archways, carrying the whispers of a civilization long erased from the cosmic ledger. Elias Vayne knelt beside a monolithic pillar, brushing away the thin layer of dust that concealed its carvings. He adjusted his visor, the holographic interface flickering, as his AI assistant, sci-fi, translated the unreadable symbols. The words that appeared on his HUD sent a chill down his spine. The Echo Core must never awaken. His heart pounded. For years he had chased myths, whispers of an artifact that could bend time itself. But if the warning was true, had he just uncovered something best left forgotten? Behind him, the sound of shifting rubble made him freeze. Elias turned slowly, his hand instinctively reaching for the plasma pistol at his hip. A figure emerged from the darkness, a woman clad in sleek, black armor with a glowing emblem on her chest. Dr. Alara Nix. "You found it, didn't you?" she asked, her voice barely above a whisper. Elias exhaled sharply, nodding. "And I think we're not the only ones looking for it." From the depths of the ruins, a distant hum began to grow, a pulse, rhythmic and unnatural. The Echo Core was waking up. Chapter 1. A Past That Wasn't. Elias never believed in destiny. To him, history was a puzzle, one that could be studied, deconstructed, and understood. But standing before the Echo Core, he felt something else entirely. Recognition. As if some buried part of him had seen this before. The artifact itself was a massive, obsidian-like sphere, suspended above the ruins by unseen forces. It pulsed with energy, its surface shifting like liquid stardust. Elias reached out instinctively, and the moment his fingers grazed its surface, reality fractured. Suddenly, he was no longer in the ruins. He stood on a battlefield, smoke and fire consuming the sky. Ships rained from the heavens in fiery plumes. In front of him, a shadowed figure wielding a blade of pure light whispered something incomprehensible before striking him down. Pain shot through his chest. The vision ended. Elias gasped as he stumbled backward, his breath ragged. Alara caught him before he fell. "What the hell just happened?" Before he could respond, a blaring alarm from sci-fi interrupted them. Unidentified hostiles detected. A squad of echelon soldiers, black-armored enforcers of a shadowy intergalactic organization, emerged from the ruins, weapons raised. Their leader, a man with piercing silver eyes, smiled coldly. "Mr. Vayne," he said, "you have something that doesn't belong to you." The sound of plasma rifles charging filled the air. Elias had no choice. He turned back to the core and did the only thing his instincts screamed at him to do. He touched it again. Time shattered. Behind him, the sound of shifting rubble made him freeze. Elias turned slowly, his hand instinctively reaching for the plasma pistol at his hip. A figure emerged from the darkness, a woman clad in sleek, black armor with a glowing emblem on her chest. Dr. Alara Nix. "You found it, didn't you?" she asked, her voice barely above a whisper. Elias exhaled sharply, nodding. "And I think we're not the only ones looking for it." From the depths of the ruins, a distant hum began to grow, a pulse, rhythmic and unnatural. The Echo Core was waking up. Chapter 2. Echoes of the Future. The moment Elias's hand connected with the Echo Core, the universe twisted around him. A violent surge of energy coursed through his body, and suddenly, he was weightless. A kaleidoscope of visions flooded his mind, memories that weren't his, possibilities that had never come to pass. He saw himself standing at the edge of a crumbling world, staring into an abyss where time itself unraveled. A voice echoed in his head, distant and familiar. "You have done this before, and you will do it again." Elias barely had time to process the words before he was flung back into the present. He landed hard on the cold stone floor of the ruins, gasping for air. Alara stood over him, her face a mask of concern and confusion. "What just happened?" she demanded. Elias struggled to his feet, his mind still reeling. "I don't know," he admitted, "but I think the core is showing me something." The soldiers were closing in fast. The silver-eyed commander stepped forward, his voice edged with impatience. "Enough games, Mr. Vayne. Hand it over." Elias exchanged a glance with Alara. Running wasn't an option. Fighting was suicide. The only choice left was the one he feared most. He had to understand the Echo Core before it was too late. "Cover me," he said, his voice steady despite the chaos around him. "I need more time." Alara drew her weapon, nodding. "Make it count." As she fired the first shot, Elias placed both hands on the core. And this time, he didn't resist, as time pulled him under. Chapter 3: A War Across Time. Elias awoke in a war-torn city. Towers collapsed around him as energy blasts streaked across the sky. He recognized the place from his visions. This was the final conflict, a battle yet to come. A voice called his name. He turned to see a man wearing armor identical to his own, but aged, scarred, and weary. It was him, an older Elias. "You need to listen," the elder Elias said urgently. "The Echo Core isn't just a key, it's a prison, and you, are the only one who can stop what's inside." Chapter 4: The Weaver's Return. The fabric of time was unraveling. As Elias struggled to comprehend his own future, a force unlike any other emerged. The Weaver, an ancient being trapped within the Echo Core. Its voice thundered through Elias's mind, promising power, knowledge, and the end of all things. Elias had a choice: to destroy the core and risk erasing himself from existence, or embrace its power and reshape the universe.